What up, though? Glad you're chill with me, man. This feels good to talk about. This feels good to talk about. There's been an age-old question, like who was better in their prime, better discography, and all of that. And I felt like that has ran its course, right? But one question I thought was always interesting, and I heard it sometimes, but very rarely. It was more about in past tense who was better. But think I've come to the conclusion on the question of who would have been better, like long term, a more sustainable, fruitful music career. And it it took just a minute when I was like really trying to factor a lot of stuff in, but I came to this conclusion because like with Pac is incredible, man, and he was already at the time. I'm just talking about at the time he was viewed as a bigger, just overall star. Um, and I think it would have played out that way still. Think he would have still been the bigger name. Think he would have reached more global success and things of that nature. But I think also that would probably coincide with his other endeavors, such as being really good on film and in TV, which doesn't completely go with the title of this and the question that I used. This is like talk that we had on the corners as kids, man. This is so if I gotta be precise, we're talking musically. I don't think he would have still be even active in music long term like that. So I would probably go with Big for a few reasons. Big already at that age showed me a little bit more versatility. Like I was thinking about some of his earlier work. Not maybe not content wise. I think Pac showed a great sense of, you know, being able to give you Brenda's Baby, Dear Mama, and then give you them ones, you know what I'm saying, that'll get you out of here. So he showed a great versatility in content, but I think as music in hip hop especially changed, oh, it was tailor made for Big. It was tailor made for Big, right? Big passed away in what, March of '97, I want to say. Look at the era of hip hop right at that time. It was gearing up and shaping up for Big to pretty much dominate from 97, 98, 99, 2000, maybe '01, right? Because I don't think no one would have been able to stop what Eminem did with the Marshall Mathers LP. I just think that it was a very few game changing albums that it changed for better or for worse. I'm not saying it was a great thing, but nobody would have been able to stop what M did in what was that, 2002 or something like that, '01, '02, somewhere in there. So that run would have continued because look at the landscape of music. I think Pac, for as versatile he was with his content, being able to, tap into different emotions. I think there was a certain bop that he had being with Death Row that would have phased out. I think production. People didn't even factor in production with this, right? So let's look at that. Let's look at the production. You listen to Big, one of his first records was what, was Superfly or Supercat, whatever the reggae dude name was, I forgot. Listen to that beat, then listen to one of his best verses ever, rapping at a faster pace with Bone Thugs. Two totally sonically different joints. And then all the stuff in between. The sky's the limit. Then rapping off the unorthodox What's Beef beat. The what? How many people can rap like that off of What's Beef? I've seen people try, they can't. Or Who Shot You? You can't. So Big just showed like these different pockets, and when you get towards the late '90s, think about the producers that was out. Timberland didn't sound like anyone. Pharrell didn't sound like anyone. So I think he would have made the better adjustments, and the sound, the overall sound of music. 97, 98, 99 was mafioso rap. You know what mafioso rap is. All you East Coast niggas that was 100% black with not an ounce of Italian in your blood, calling yourself Coleon, Marciano, Luciano, all of that shit. Like a whole cast of Goodfellas that was fresh from the Bronx and Brooklyn boroughs. Niggas, it's crazy. I remember that. Your mafioso rap. And then the South, brought the quote unquote bling bling era, which is pretty much what Big was doing anyway. A lot of flashy, flossy, bravado type of music, laced with R&B samples, with R&B artists on the hook. That was his vibe anyway. So that's why I said it was like that back half of the '90s, getting into the early 2000s, was tailor made for Big. So while Pac was at the time the bigger overall star, I think musically he might have had more difficulties with the adjustments that music, presented. But I think he would have been just a bigger star because he probably would have just said, the music getting corny, and Pac was Pac, man. I think he would have been a dope philanthropist. I can just see him doing like some shit that LeBron is doing, like opening up his own school, like not just here, but like in Africa or something. I just feel like Pac would have really been trying to change the world, especially for his brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? So I think, with his movie career and his, all his acting endeavors, I think he would have gave us like an album here and there, but he wouldn't have been caring. He would have been a bigger star than Big. But if the question was just music, we're only talking music, who'd had a better overall music career, I think the nod goes to Big based off of his ability that he showed already. I can only base off what was presented to me while they were still, with us, based off his ability to tap into different pockets, unorthodox beats, the content of mafioso, bravado, bling bling rap, which he was already doing. Him and Puff pretty much had the formula for dope album success too. Let's not forget that. Think about it. The people that have took over and ran rap since Big has, passed, starting with Hov, the formula: catchy, poppy, dope singles. Because when CDs, I know people are like, what the hell are CDs? When compact disc, cassettes, and eventually, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff was still out, you needed big singles. When the radio was a big deal, right? You needed radio singles. So the Big Puff Bad Boy formula was simple: big, poppy / rappy, catchy singles. But then when you get to the album, you got hard album cuts that are really, really like rugged and gangster. You seen Jay do it, he was successful. When he left, 50s was doing it, he was successful. Then Wayne took over and he was successful. Like, it was pretty much the formula. Even that's pretty much what everybody does that's a big name in hip hop. And I felt like the beginning stages of that started with Puff and Big. So the transition would have probably been seamless, to be honest with you. So that's my answer after some long sitting back, reclined, thinking of it. So I hopefully, even if you disagree, hopefully you can see where I'm coming from and be like, it made a little sense. Even if it made a little sense, I'm counting that as a win. But yeah, I just think he was gearing up. It was, man. We really lost two legends, bro. That's always sad, man. But yeah, I think musically, Big was about to do some amazing shit, I felt like. But that's just my time. Just something that was weighing heavy. I was just thinking about. It was like debates we used to have growing up, and I saw something online that sparked me to do this. So y'all let me know in the comments what y'all feel, or if you agree, just say I agree or something like that. But I don't know. Holla at y'all, man, as always.